Welcome to CBS Easy.
All right, everyone, welcome. Got exams on your mind? Perfect, because you've come to the right place. We're about to do a super quick, super focused breakdown of Guy de Maupassant's classic story, The Necklace. Let's just dive right in.
So let me ask you something. What's the price of a perfect night? You know the one I'm talking about, that one evening where everything just clicks. What's that worth to you? A couple $100, maybe 1,000? Well, believe it or not, that exact question is at the absolute heart of the story we're looking at today.
For our main character, Mathilde Loisel, the answer is 10 years of her life. Yep, she gets that one perfect night, her moment in the sun. But the price tag? A whole decade of just brutal hardship. So how on earth does one night out spiral into 10 years of misery? Well, that's what we're here to unpack. Okay, so first things first, to really get this story, you have to get Mathilde. I mean, her personality, her whole vibe, it's literally the engine driving this entire tragedy. So let's meet her. So Mathilde is this pretty young woman who is just constantly suffering. Why? Because she is absolutely convinced that fate messed up. She feels she was born for all the fancy stuff in life, the luxuries, the delicacies. And you gotta remember, back in 19th century France, a woman's social status was pretty much sealed by who she married. So for her, being born into a family of clerks and then marrying one, it feels like a life sentence in a prison of mediocrity. And she is not happy about it. And this right here, this shows you the huge, huge gap between her reality and her dreams. I mean, look at this. Her reality is a husband who's a petty clerk, shabby furniture, a simple pot pie for dinner. But in her head, she's married to someone rich and important, surrounded by elegant dinners and shining silver. Her husband's totally happy with his pot pie, right? But for Mathilde, this gap isn't just a little daydream. It's a source of actual constant torture. So, as you can probably guess, when a chance to live that dream for one night actually shows up, well, things get complicated. It should be amazing news, right? But for Mathilde, it's just one big problem. Okay, so picture this. Her husband comes home one day, just beaming. He's waving this super exclusive invitation to a huge party at the minister's house. He's thinking, she's gonna love this. You know, her big chance to mingle with important people. But nope, he is so wrong. She literally throws the invitation on the table. Why? What's the deal? Well, it boils down to two things. First, she's got no dress, and second, she's got no jewelry. See, for Mathilde, just going to the party isn't the point. She has to look the part. She needs to fit in. She's terrified of looking poor next to all the rich women. It's all about appearances, not the actual experience. So, problem number one, the dress. She tells him she needs 400 francs. Now, here's the kicker. That's the exact amount of money her husband had been saving, not for her, but for himself to buy a gun and go hunting with his buddies. So what does he do? He gives it to her. He totally sacrifices his own dream for hers. But even with a brand new dress, she's still not happy. So her husband, who's always trying to fix things, says, hey, wait a minute, go see your friend Madame Forestier and just borrow some jewelry. And you know what? It's a brilliant idea. She goes, her friend opens up this amazing jewel box, and Mathilde's eyes lock onto this stunning, absolutely superb diamond necklace. And just like that, her outfit is complete. All right, so now we get to the big night, the night of the party. Everything is set. Mathilde is finally about to have her moment. And what a night it is. For these few hours, her life is perfect. She's the prettiest woman there, elegant, happy, full of joy. She's a total hit. Every guy wants to dance with her. She is just drunk on all the attention and admiration. This is it. This is the peak. Her fantasy is real. But then, it's over. They get home around 4 in the morning. She wants one last look in the mirror, to see herself in all her glory, and she lets out a scream. The necklace, it's gone. In an instant, the dream just completely shatters. So now they're facing this frightful disaster, and they have a choice to make, a really big one. Do they fess up and tell the truth? Or do they try to hide it? This one decision is going to change everything for the next 10 years. And, well, they decide to hide it. Pride, fear of being called a thief, whatever it is, they decide they have to replace it. They find a new necklace that looks exactly the same, but it costs a mind-blowing 36,000 francs. Her husband has about half of that from an inheritance. Where do they get the other 18,000? They borrow it from everyone. They get themselves into some serious, life-ruining debt. And just like that, their lives are turned upside down. They fire the maid, they move into a tiny attic apartment. Mathilde, who dreamed of servants and luxury, learns how to do all the hard work herself. She's scrubbing floors, haggling at the market, and her husband is working evenings and nights, taking on extra jobs. And this goes on for 10 long years. Now, pay attention, because this is a huge point for your exams. Mathilde completely transforms. She goes from this delicate daydreamer to a strong, hard, crude woman of a poor household. The suffering literally changes every part of her.
Finally, after a decade of misery, it's over. They've paid back every single cent. The nightmare is done. And this is where we get to one of the most shocking and just devastating twist endings you'll ever read. So one day, Mathilde is walking down the street and she sees Madame Forestier, who still looks young and pretty. And now that the debt is gone, Mathilde decides, you know what, I'm going to tell her the truth. And she's actually proud of it. She tells her friend, hey, I replaced your necklace. It took us 10 years to pay for it, but it's done now, and I'm honestly okay. I'm content. Her friend is just stunned, looking at how old and worn out Mathilde looks. She listens to this unbelievable story, and she's touched. She takes both of Mathilde's hands, but she's got a secret of her own. The necklace they spent 10 years paying 36,000 francs for, well, its real value was just 500 francs. Oh, my poor Mathilde, her friend says. Mine was fake. It wasn't worth more than 500 francs. And boom, there's the twist. 10 years of their lives, all that suffering, the debt, the lost youth, all of it was for nothing. They destroyed their lives to replace a cheap fake. So let's wrap this up with the key themes. This is the stuff you absolutely need for your exam, so you might want to screenshot this. First, we've got appearance versus reality. The necklace looked real, but it was fake, just like the life Mathilde wanted. Second, the danger of pride and vanity. If she had just swallowed her pride and told the truth, none of this would have happened. And finally, contentment versus greed. Her constant wanting of more is what led to her losing everything. And that kind of leaves us with one big question, doesn't it? Who's really to blame here? Is it all on Mathilde for being so vain and proud? Or is her husband partly responsible for just going along with it all? Or maybe the story is pointing a finger at the society they lived in, a society obsessed with wealth and appearances. Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining this explainer.
Thank you for watching with us. See you next time.